Good evening, members and subscribers. You're probably wondering what's happening with Enchantment. There was all this excitement and build up, and then poof, bang, nothing. She was very disappointing, and you haven't heard from me yet. The reason being, there was a lot to come out of the race, and I just wanted the dust to settle, see where we are, because the trainer was very confident. So there's been a lot of checks and balances by our racing manager. He even flew over to New Zealand to see her personally. Okay, this is the trainer's update straight after the race. He was very disappointed, obviously.
Enchantment, obviously disappointed today. Didn't get the greatest of runs.
She didn't.
Obviously, only 3 in it and you're 3 wide without cover wasn't ideal. But in saying that, she still gave it away pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And she is a grade 3B in the win. So
Take note.
considering that race was 800 today and she's really only been able to keep up a gallop for 600 metres, we do think there's a wind issue there. So the best way to find out is get a dynamic scope. And obviously she needs to be given the opportunity to get over the run, which we'll do. And we'll look to dynamic scope her next week, end of next week, and then we'll have some answers going forward. But, yep, certainly not what we wanted today. Enchantment.
Dynamic scope. Well, look, there's a bit to take in there. It talked a lot about dynamic scope and the 3B. A lot of you guys probably don't know what that's all about. That's about a throat issue, how wide they can open their throat and how systematic. A 3B rating, which when we scoped to put a camera through, that's where she was, is right in the middle. So it's 1 rating, 2, then a 3A, 3B, 4A, 4B, 5. So 4 and 5 are worse. 3 was right in the middle. Some horses it doesn't affect, some horses it does. That could have been one of the reasons that she was so disappointing, but not the only reason. So she did trial really well, but that's not under the same pressure. So under race pressure, when you really let them go and they really got to exert, that 3B rating in the middle could be enough that when she come up to them, she didn't get the air and she packed it in and stopped trying and had enough, where the others were able to keep going. It could be one of the reasons. Another reason, it could have been that heavy 10 track. It was very heavy. That was another reason. Another reason was I know the racing manager did not want to travel so far. It's 5 hours away. It was opposite direction of what she's been trialling. So she was on the other leg. She came out wide, heavy 10, the win. So it could have been a fair few issues. I know in the audio, the trainer said to dynamic scope. We haven't done that. So a dynamic scope is they put a camera in there and they gallop the horse. While they're working, they have a look what's happening. Apparently that's quite expensive. I don't think we're going to do it straight away because it's not hurting her, this thing, and it might not have been the only issue. So we will take her through the process again and see how she comes through her gallop, then her trial. And if we get an issue there, we will dynamic scope. That's, I believe, the way the managers are thinking. So the main things to come out of that run was the heavy 10, her back. She pulled up with a very sore back. So that could have been, again, from the heavy 10 coming around that turn. She could have pulled up very sore with a sore back. So that were the things to come out of the race. The things going forward, considering that we think those were concerns, we want to see her race on better ground conditions. This means we might scratch her until we get better ground. So it might be a lot more between runs. We want in the same direction and something close to home. So this might take a little bit of patience. We want this scenario to her to race in. If she was disappointing in this scenario, considering how well she trialled, how well she gallops, how much positivity around, we're going to really turn towards this throat issue. Her next test is a barrier trial on the 28th of October. She's back on those treadmills. You've seen some footage of her. She still looks good. Trainer's positive. Says she pulls up well. She loves the work. She's a very happy horse. You've seen the footage of where the racing manager saw in the paddock, and she felt so good. The back feels good now. She's up on her back hinds and jumping around everywhere, and she's one happy horse. So that's a good thing. The other thing, let's go through the bill. What's a bill for a 5% share, especially when they're racing? When they're racing, this was our bill for 5% was $688. This is the bill here. It was a $16,000 bill. All right, so that's just for the month. So I really want you guys to see this, because this is what we got the horse for you to see horse ownership, what it's like. It was all a bit easy. We bought the share for the horse. The horse was going great. It was going to race so quickly 3 months after purchase. I expected her to win. If she won, it was going to be all easy. I've owned a lot of horses, and it's never been an easy trial. We've had success, but we haven't never had it that quick. And hence, here we are. So it's a very expensive exercise. For people that have bought the horse on their own, you've got a 17 grand bill. You've got a horse that ran last, might have a throat issue. You paid $60,000 for the horse, and then you got bills that are coming in at 15, anywhere between 12 to 17 grand a month. Lucky we only own 5%. Here we got the training, 30 days, 118 per day, $2.30 a day for her gear, and her vitamins and extra that goes into the feed, $1.70 a day. So this is roughly the base, which is around 3.5 grand. But then it was very expensive for us to transport her to the races because it was so far away. So we had $920 in float fees. The local transport, she went around locally, maybe from the farm to the way they freshen up to the stables. That was $210. Farrier, probably before the race, they changed her shoes. And then as we talked about, we got the chiropractor, $150 there. We had staff accommodation, it was 5 hours away. They stayed there. They didn't come back till the next day. The riding fee, etc., etc. Track fees for the gallop, $163. Extra vet treatment, that was for the back, etc., $1,400. So it was very, very expensive while she went to the track. So the winner head bill was $841. We got prize money for running last or a third, and got $150 our share for third. And so the total bill for us was $688. So even just a 5% share, $688 for the month. You need some quite an indisposable income to carry that. Hopefully she could win some more prize money. But that's why I've owned a lot of horses. I haven't owned a horse for a while, because $688, punting money, that's a fair bit of punting money, and you can have a lot of fun saying, well, this is my horse. The way I look at it when you're betting, say, this is my horse, this is the hope I've got, and I'm putting $30 on this horse in this race. The way I see it, at that moment of time, I'm invested in that horse as much as the owner. I own a piece of that horse if I've put a $30 or $20 bet, or even a $10, even a $5 bet. How many $5 bets can you have under 688? And then if the horse doesn't run well, you can jump off it. You're going to bet another horse next time. So, horse ownership versus punting. When you own a horse, you're all in. You go in, you just can't jump off like that. When you're punting, so, okay, this horse ain't going as well as I thought of. I've got to put my next $5, 10, 20, 30 onto this horse, who now I think is going really well. You have like 10 of those bets a day. $5 times 10, $50 for a day. $50 for is only $200. That's 1/3 of what it cost for our 5% share in Enchantment. But there's also beauty about being all in as well. You're really invested. You're all in. You can't jump off. We're invested in this. We're going the whole road. We can't jump off, and we could be rewarded later. We're in this for the ride the whole way. Throat issues, sore backs, recoveries. We're in it. So there is beauty in the horse ownership as well. So there's advantages and pluses for both. So here we are on the journey with Enchantment. Horse ownership is never a smooth going, and we're on that rough ride. All right, we'll update you next, probably close to when she's barrier trialing in about 14 days, in about a couple of weeks from now. Thanks, guys. Talk soon. Bye.